will say that going after moderators is usually probably a pretty easy target since we in the media have a percentage lower than Congress as far as approval.
And Congress has a percentage lower than a cockroach.
Exactly, so we're in trouble. Let's bring in our panel. Tucker Carlson is here with us in the spin room. Laura Ingraham and Juan Williams are in Broadcast Alley, and Dana Perino is back in New York. Tucker?
He's an escape artist. I mean, I don't think there's a single person in the world I live in who thought his campaign could continue after this. And I think many people will reassess it. You know, it's going to be tough for Donald Trump to be elected president, but the campaign is not over. He defined the terms of most of the debate. He clearly rattled Secretary Clinton on stage. He rattled her campaign off stage. One of her spokesmen, her chief foreign policy spokesman, tweeted out during the debate, F you, spelled it out. That's the kind of response from a campaign that is bewildered that this is continuing. I think Donald Trump's chief advantage from the very beginning was he's not taken seriously. Anyone in the country makes over $500 grand a year. They don't understand him, they don't like him, and they expect at every turn this thing's going to fall apart. And again, I'm not saying he's going to win. I'm just saying it's not over, which is amazing relative to expectations.
Dana, your thoughts?
Well, I thought that she did very well in the first half of the debate, but the next half hour after that, he did very well, especially when he came prepared with specifics on things like Obamacare, which has just not gotten enough attention or discussion. The taxes one was interesting. I do think there's some fact-checking to be done. I mean, she does say in her plan she would get rid of carried interest as well. That's one of the things he said, and I think that gets a little technical for people. And then in this third half hour, I think that maybe it was a draw at that point. His foreign policy answer, I think, was very off when it came to what he was saying about Russia's participation in helping Assad. He was suggesting that they were going after ISIS when no, that is not true. Will that wash over it? I agree with Tucker. He lives to fight another day. Does his vice president live to fight another day? I don't know. He took issue with something Mike Pence said. Again, I think that he came here to show that he wants to be president of the United States. He's not really worried about the rest of them. But if you're worried about the Supreme Court and you're a Republican, you said, okay, I liked his answer on that, especially because, like, for the first time in two debates, we talked about the Constitution, which speaks to conservatives for sure.
On Facebook, 76% of the conversation had to deal with Donald Trump, 24% about Hillary Clinton. A senior GOP official telling me on background, and this is Spin Alley, that they think he killed it and that he pivoted well tonight. Again, is it enough? Laura Ingraham.
Brett, after the first debate, we had a lot of Republicans, myself included, who were wishing, why didn't you bring up this, or why didn't you bring up this? We were watching it over on one of the Fox trailers, and we were saying, Mike, he's saying things that we'd forgotten. He's bringing up points that we had forgotten. So he might not have done the traditional debate prep that a lot of folks wanted him to do. But he came across tonight, I think, as someone who would fight for America. And he was really tough on Mrs. Clinton. He would not buckle into this idea that, oh, he hates all women or he hates immigrants. He wouldn't stay on that. He focused on the fact that America is in decline. Everybody knows it. The economy is flatlining. Our foreign policy is in an absolute muddle. And we have to try a new path forward. I think that came through. And I think that the ending, that last question was a nice moment for him. It was a moment of grace. He needs those moments. And I think to connect with the female voters out there and say, you're a fighter, Hillary. You fight, and you fight to the end. And I respect that. I think he needed that moment. It came right at the end of the debate. But I thought that was good. And Megan, you said earlier that it wasn't a good night for America. It might have been a good night for Trump. I think people know that this country is really divided. And they're playing for the whole shooting match right now. I think they actually got a pretty good conversation. I think both sides actually, in the end, came across pretty well.
Him calling her the devil wasn't our highest moment. Her accusing him of having an entire campaign implode and suggesting he's completely unfit. These weren't high moments of rhetorical argument, but I defer to you on that. Juan Williams, your thoughts?
Well, I thought Donald Trump was the man of the hour here. It looked to me like he was flailing, desperate at times, made it very personal, went right at her, and then at Bill Clinton, even turned away from Mike Pence, as we heard Dana mention a moment ago. So this was all about him, and I think if you watch this, and I was watching carefully, the way he was standing behind her, looming over her, the way he was pointing his finger at her, interrupting, I don't know how that played, again, to the larger audience, specifically